Hey everybody, this is Joe Gilder from HomeStudioCorner.com. We're talking more about getting it right at the source. Today I want to talk about the big question, how many takes should you record? So in a previous video you may have seen, if you haven't, you need to go check it out. I talked about the benefits of recording full takes versus punching in section by section. Some musicians just prefer one over the other, and I give you some reasons for both in that video. But in this video, let's say you are recording full takes. How many takes should you record? Well, as you're probably going to guess, there's no one answer to this. I've found for me that anything more than about 3 takes seems to be counterproductive. Here's what I mean. There's a couple reasons. The singer, let's say you're doing vocals. Singers are great. I'm a singer. I love just belting out full takes. However, after about 3, it starts to be kind of the point of diminishing returns. I could sing another take, but if I haven't nailed it in 3 takes or given you enough to put together one great take, probably not going to happen any more than 3. And secondly, I'm going to be tired from singing, okay? Now, some singers have more stamina than others and all that, and maybe I'm just a wimp, but after about 3 takes, my voice gets dry and there's not that energy there. There's not that initial excitement that was there when I started recording. So if you were an engineer for my session, and I'm the musician, and you're telling me we're going to do 5 takes of every song, that's fine, and I know lots of people who'll do that, but for me personally, 5 just seems like a lot. And some musicians want to go and do 7 or 10. Just because you have all that hard drive space doesn't mean you need to use it. I would argue the opposite. I would say set a limit to the number of takes you're going to record. Because A, it's going to be good for the musician to be under that pressure. Musicians actually do like pressure. If they didn't, they wouldn't get on stage and perform in front of people. There's that pressure to get it right. So if you tell the musician, hey, we're going to just record as many takes as you want, take all the pressure off, that sounds good, but when you think about it, you're putting them in a position to just kind of give you a mediocre performance with every take. So if you tell them we're going to do 10 takes, they're going to use all 10 takes, and then it's going to take you forever to piece that comp together. So instead, tell them, hey, I found in my experience that doing 3 takes is the most we're going to do. Anything more than that doesn't work. So then when they do that first take, they're going to be much more zoned in, and they think, I've only got 3 takes to get this right. Okay? So they're going to be focused. They're going to give a much better performance for those 3 takes than if you left it open-ended. Okay? Now maybe that number you can play around with. Maybe it's 4, maybe it's 5. But give them some sort of a limit, some sort of a framework in which they've got to nail that performance. And secondly, the reason you don't want to do all those takes is because you've got to go back and edit that later. That's a nightmare. There's nothing more tedious in the studio, I think, than going through and listening to the same line 8 times and then picking the best one, and then going on to the next line and listening to all 8 takes and then picking the best one. It's just not fun, and the final comp can be okay, but sometimes it sounds weird because there's 8 different performances being forced together, and sometimes it just doesn't work. So to save yourself time on the back end and to get a good performance on the front end, limit yourself to the number of takes that you're going to let them record. The number you choose is completely up to you. I would say try 3. See if it works. Maybe it won't, and you can adjust that from there. But I promise you it's going to pay off in the end.